What's up, Wildcats? Yes, I'm back with another episode of Katie's Kooky Conspiracies, and I'm here with Sydney Looney.
Hi, guys.
And today we're going to talk about a lot of conspiracy theories, but some pretty popular ones, ones that most people know about, or maybe you don't know about it, but they're pretty good.
I'm really excited to be here with Katie talking about the conspiracies.
Well, first up is that the moon landing was actually faked. Like, it actually never happened. And the reason people think that is because the flag's blowing in the footage or something.
Yeah.
And there's no wind on the moon. So
that's kind of weird.
Yeah. And also, in the background, you do not see any stars. And you'd think if you're on the moon, you'd see some stars. But you don't. And also, there is a shadow that people think is from a studio light, which is shown in the footage. And there's allegedly a number on a rock, like it was placed like somewhere.
Props or something, like they're in they filmed it like in a movie like studio or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is very true. Just because, I don't know, like back then, I don't know if they had the right technology to do it, and I feel like they just wanted to get everybody, like, excited and hyped up about the moon landing and, like, give people something to, like, be excited about. And so I feel like the moon landing was fake, but
sometimes I think it's fake, and then sometimes I'm like, no, I bet it's real. But I don't know. This one's weird because it just sometimes, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this one.
I agree with that.
But,
okay, our next one we're going to talk about is that Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain.
This one is just true.
This one is just, there's a lot of evidence for it, but some of the main points is that it was not a suicide because in the note, half of it was written in one handwriting, the other half was a different handwriting. And for most of the note, it just sounded like he wanted to leave the band instead of like it being suicidal. The only part that was suicidal was the new part in the new handwriting. Mm-hmm. And so it could be that Courtney Love added that part on later to try to cover up her tracks. But I think something suspicious is really going on here with the whole, like, suicide or murder, or did somebody have... I think another point that people try to make is that Courtney Love had, like, somebody come and, like, kill him or something, but I feel like there's definitely something weird going on with that.
Oh, yes. I think she definitely had to do with him dying. And they were both, like, very famous. But maybe she just... I mean, Nirvana was a pretty famous band, so maybe she just got a little jealous. I don't know, but she definitely killed him. Next we have that the government is putting fluoride in the water to alter your brain. And so you can buy, like, water with or without fluoride, but some, like, states, not all, I don't think all, but most states, just in their, like, tap water have fluoride and stuff. And the states that have a higher, like, percent of fluoride in their water often show, like, lower test scores, lower, like, I don't know, just lower IQ scores. So I think, well, the conspiracy is that, like, the government's putting fluoride in water, because everyone needs to drink water, and it will, like, alter your brain. And I don't know, I believe that one.
I feel like that one could be true just because the government, I feel like, is a little crazy sometimes, but yeah. I feel like that one's kind of hard to, like, prove just because of, like, all the different, I don't know, like, things that kind of could go into it just because of, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you really know that that's doing that? I feel like that one's a little bit far-fetched.
The only reason I believe it is because of the fact that, like, the places with more fluoride have lower test scores, but otherwise there's not that much evidence to, like, prove it to be true. But that one just really stands out to me, that statistic.
And then kind of going along with that one, people think that, like, the trails that come out of airplanes are, like, actually chemicals that they're releasing into the air. Like, the government wants to use those chemicals to, like, control the people. And I don't know if there's really any factual evidence to back that up, but I don't really know, because I guess, like, even when I was a kid, I always wondered, like, what that stuff was, or, like, what it is. And I guess maybe it's just, like, stuff from the airplane, but I feel like maybe that one is also a little bit far-fetched.
I agree with that, just because, I don't know. What would they be releasing?
Yeah, like, what chemical, or, like, what, like, I don't know, like, and because it's so high up in the air, how is that gonna, like, affect us?
Exactly. The next one is that, there is an elite group that are reptiles. Like, they are reptile humans.
Like celebrities or anything.
Yeah. There's video clips of Justin Bieber, and in that video, it was the video of him getting the mugshot. Yeah. He blinks, and his eyes turn, like, a different color, and, like...
They look reptile-like, some people claim.
Reptilian. And then Miley, in an interview, after she blinked, the, like, pupil turned small and thin, like a reptile, like a snake's eye or something. But I don't know if I don't think I believe in that one, just because why reptiles?
Yeah, and that's super weird. And I feel like both those videos, the one of Justin Bieber getting his mugshot, it's a very low quality, like, video. And then the one of Miley Cyrus, it could just be, like, I don't know, her pupils, like, dilating or something from, like, the cameras or, like, the lights in the interview. And, like, I don't know. I feel like that one's probably not true, just because, like, reptile humans, like, that's very weird. Like, something from, like, a sci-fi movie, and I feel like that one's probably
especially
not true.
Since they're, like, elite.
Yeah.
Apparently. But I don't get that one. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either. The next one that's also really common is that Hillary Clinton, she, like, had a sickness while she was running for president, and she had to lie about it because some people claim that there's, like, a clip of her, like, having a seizure during, like, a press conference, and I feel like maybe that is probably not true, but it is possible that she had a sickness because she is a bit older, and, like, that could, like, hinder her from, like, doing well in, like, the presidential election. So, I mean, I feel like that one could maybe be true, but I don't really know if there's any evidence to back it up.
Yeah. Apparently she had, like, a bodyguard, and if you zoomed in on the bodyguard's, like, badge or something, it had something about how, like, it had, like a not a cross, but, like, a cross. Like a medical cross.
Yeah.
A medical sign. But, like, that could just be because, I don't know, maybe she has a health issue, but I don't think it's, like, as... like, serious, intense,
and I feel like, I don't know, just because I definitely have seen in, like, TV shows where, like, if they're running for, like, something, then they do try to hide that, but I don't really know, because I feel like there's no factual stuff to back that up, so I'm not sure about that one.
Alright, our next one, is it even a conspiracy? That Stevie Wonder is not blind. This
one is crazy.
Yeah. See, I think it was probably just a publicity stunt because, you know, like, he's blind, but he's so talented, and, you know, and he just overcame his blindness. But there's footage of his microphone stand, like, falling because, like, he bumped into it, and he just caught it. Like, he just reached out and grabbed it. And how would you do that if you were blind? Like...
And I just feel like, I don't know, being blind and, like, being this amazing musician, like, that could definitely, like, is something crazy that, like, them, like his publicity team could have, like, made up to really, like, put him over the edge and, like, really make him, like, stand out and, like, be unique in, like, the music industry. So.
Exactly. And, like, no shade to Stevie Wonder. He's a great musician, but I just don't think he's blind.
I think that one's true. I feel like he's not blind either. Because, I don't know, I feel like... And especially in the music industry, they do, like, a lot of crazy things to just get people to be famous. But even though Stevie Wonder, he is super talented and everything, but...
Yeah, I just don't...
I feel like that is definitely true.
Yeah, maybe he had, like, a partial blindness, but there's no way he could have been full-blown blind.
Yeah.
Especially with, like... And the microphone stand thing wasn't even the only thing. There's, like, videos of him just, like, I don't know, doing certain, like, mannerisms, or, like, just, like... doing things that you could not be, like, you would not know to do if you were blind, like catching a microphone stand
I
as
agree.
it's falling.
The next one we're going to talk about is, I feel like a really big one that is very, unsolved, sort of, that Marilyn Monroe was killed off by the government.
Oh, yes.
And some reasoning for this is that she allegedly had an affair with John F. Kennedy, and so she was, connected to the government, and she could have known too much about the government, and they could have wanted to, kill her off, or maybe so then they didn't know about, so then people wouldn't find out about the affair, and then people claimed that either the CIA or Robert Kennedy, which is JFK's brother, killed her, and I feel like that one could be true, because don't they, say that she died of, suicide or something?
Yeah, I'm not for sure, but I think it was a drug overdose. Yeah. And I think if you were with the president, you'd know, with the president in that manner, you would find out a lot of secrets. Yeah. And so maybe she was going to expose the government, and they didn't want that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like sometimes, especially with, suicide, you don't always, kind of know why they did it. So maybe they just, claimed it was a suicide so it didn't look bad. The government or somebody had killed her. But I definitely feel like that's something kind of crazy. And, the government is very secretive and, never wants anybody to know, their secrets or anything that they're doing. And I feel like she definitely could have been, something weird's happening there, too, that she could have been killed by the government. Or, I don't know, I feel like Robert Kennedy, that's kind of a little crazy. But probably, I feel like the CIA would be more believable.
I agree. Okay, our last one on the list is that airplane companies are trying to kill you if you, in case of an emergency, if you crash. And the evidence to back that up is, so if you've ever been on a plane, before you take off, they have their whole spiel, how to, buckle, what to do in case of emergency, and they tell you, if you're crashing, to, go down and, basically, so your neck and your head is, parallel to the floor. So you're, looking down.
And, your head's touching, the seat in front of you.
Yeah. But, that doesn't make sense, because wouldn't you think that the impact would just, crush your neck?
Yeah, you would hit, the seat in front of you.
Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of people, there's even been, flight attendants that have admitted to that. That
they're doing that on purpose. So then, you die in the crash, basically. So you break your neck and die in the crash is what people, think.
Yeah, and they'd rather you die in the crash than survive, so you could not sue the company.
Or, get, money or, stuff like that. And, another thing is people try to claim that, the oxygen masks that come down, they don't even, provide you with oxygen. It's just to, make you feel better. And I feel like that is sort of, deceiving or kind of, I don't know, inhumane to, do that to somebody, especially, in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be maybe true, just because I feel like that position that they tell you to put your head down in is not, that doesn't make sense to me. It's not, correct, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wondered that, too. Why would you do that if it's going to impact your neck to the point where it's just going to, snap?
Yeah.
So I definitely think that one's true.
I agree with that. I feel like that one is true, too.
Yes. Well, that is all that we have for today's Conspiracy Podcast. Thank you, Sydney, for joining me.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. And next time, Sydney will be with me for our podcast. We are going to be talking about John Benet Ramsey.
That is a huge one that we're both really interested in. And next time I come on the show, we're probably going to talk about that one just because there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we're both super excited about it.
Yes. All right. Well, I hope you join us for the next podcast, especially the John Benet Ramsey one. See you later, Wildcats.
See ya.